Hello, everyone, for another exciting episode of Small Town Minds. Uh,
And small town behinds. All
yeah,
right.
I would say it's been another uneventful week, but wow, that would be another lie, wouldn't it?
It sounded way more professional and on the nose than my introduction a couple weeks ago. No, you're right, Matt. I keep hoping we don't have a lot to talk about on these shows. Not that I don't enjoy doing it, but maybe something not as crazy, but it's always crazy.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. We'll start off a little bit lighthearted, though, a little bit less than with the heavy stuff. Been listening to some old stuff. I listened to Jimmy Eat World and some of the Used recently. Um, Jimmy Eat World, I really have only listened to that one album, the one with the metal and all that, which is a great album. It's really good. And I just didn't know that they've made like tons of albums. Like
Yeah.
their catalog is pretty massive. I haven't even listened to any of it, not much. So it's definitely something I probably need to do at some point. And the Used, I listened to the main album of theirs, that first album, and where they blew up. And yeah, I've heard a few other albums too, but they've kept on doing it as well. You kind of just lose track of some of these bands that you don't really, if you don't really keep up with it, they kind of just keep on making music. And you're like, oh wait, they've got like three more albums or some shit. You guys been listening to anything? Anything you want to talk about, listen to lately?
Misfits for me.
Misfits, nice.
I seem to run through them about every year and
Hmm.
listen to their discography.
Uh, yeah. So I sent you guys the new Olivia Rodrigo single. I enjoyed it. Think it's catchy as fuck. And it got me to thinking. There was a conversation at work the other day in the break room. I think they were talking about specifically country music, but just some of the talk was, that's trash or something because it was new. And over the past, well, I mean, since we've been doing this show, I've sung the praises of Lady Gaga. Granted, she's been around for a minute. Sabrina Carpenter, I enjoy some of her work, and then now Olivia Rodrigo. Like, honestly, if I didn't have kids, I probably wouldn't. I would probably still listen to Lady Gaga, but the other two probably not as much. But I guess my point is, there's nothing wrong with Jimmy Eat World, the Used, the Misfits, or Olivia Rodrigo. I don't want to be. I don't want to be 60 and 70 years old and still listening to the same stuff. I will still listen to what my core genres are and my core stuff, but I think we should all seek to, just because it's mainstream, just because it's on the radio, does not necessarily mean it's bad or it's because at one time, Zeppelin, Floyd, Metallica, they were all on the radio, the pop of the day.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
yeah,
I can agree with you with that if you're just not liking something because it's on the radio. That's not why I don't like new stuff. I just don't like new stuff because I don't like the way it sounds. It just doesn't appeal to
right,
me. And I do fall into that trap of my youth and my generation songs,
yeah,
absolutely. And that is
oh
what I
yeah,
stick to mostly. I mean, it was just a certain limit to a point where I'm like, I've got enough songs in my head. I don't know if I can feel it with any more, or the love of any more.
fair,
Maybe that's what it was. And and I got a little bit more mileage than you with that, but that's mostly it for me. I mean, if a song hits me and it's new, I'm cool with that. It just rarely ever happens. That's
yeah,
really the problem with me.
Yeah.
Like I did listen to that song that you sent me, and it wasn't for me particularly. But that's fine, and you know, and you can send me a million songs, and I'm probably gonna maybe like one of them because I really don't. But again, it's nothing about that they're on the radio or popular or anything
Yeah.
like that. It's just I just don't feel it as much anymore. But I still have obviously the memories and the feelings for the stuff that I did
Yep.
growing up and all that. So that's where I'm at with it. Matt, where are you at now?
I listen to a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
My kids are in their early 20s now. Sorry, I'm having issues with my light, apparently. Uh, both of my kids are in their early 20s right now, so I've been listening to the stuff that they have for a long time. Listen to a lot of bands that I probably wouldn't have if not for them. Olivia Rodrigo is one of those that I think also is good. Even listen to some of her music too. It's actually one of my son's favorites. So
Although I, I was going to say I had a questionable parenting moment. My 4-year-old was singing along with Vampire, and if you're unfamiliar with that song, the hook is bloodsucker, fame fucker, bleeding me dry like a goddamn vampire.
Okay. Now I've heard that one. I kind of
Yeah.
did like that one. Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Of course, that's my genre. That's my thing.
Sitting there eating dinner and talking to my wife, and she's on the couch playing and just shouts out, "Goddamn vampire!" And my wife and I just look at each other, and I told her, I'm like, "Hey, only sing that around mom and dad. Like, I, just watch where you sing that." So,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I agree wholeheartedly that your kids do influence your music and stuff and all that. You know, growing up through the different versions of their growth spurts. You know, I listen to like um, Perry Grip, who is he does a lot of kids stuff, and then Alan Walker. They were obsessed with that for a long time. Big into K-pop for the longest time. Now they still like a lot of that international music, but they love grunge. They love the '90s stuff like Nirvana
nice.
and
Nice.
System of a Down, stuff like that. So it kind of
yeah,
yeah, it kind of goes that
and
way.
I've spent a lot of time with the grandbaby, so I'm singing the Wiggles all the time now. I didn't realize that the Wiggles had as many songs as they have, and yes, I get caught up in singing along with them too.
Sure, sure. What about anything you've been watching? I finished up the what's been put out so far of the Boys season 5. You guys watch that show? I do love that show. Uh, Highlander, reminds me of someone in the office. But go ahead.
I need to watch it. That's one of the shows I'm like, I hear nothing but good things. I'm like, and
Hmm.
I know the premise. I know a lot of the undertones. I'm like, yeah, I need to watch that show.
It's fantastic. That show and the spinoff show, Gen V as well, both fantastic shows. You watched any of that, Matt?
I've watched the first few seasons of The Boys, um, a little bit of Gen V, and the animated Invincible series. I've watched, I think, all of it too. Uh, I like it. I've just not got into it, if that makes
Yeah.
sense. I mean, yeah.
I just love
I,
it. You never know what you're gonna fucking see in the next episode because
oh
it gets
yeah,
wild.
yeah. It will definitely. For me, it kind of pushes my limits on some of the stuff I'm comfortable with watching.
Not me.
Uh,
I'm like, all right.
yeah, yeah. But no, you're right. There's a lot of tie-ins to the political
Oh yeah.
landscape. It's yeah, a lot of good, but yeah, good show. I would recommend it to folks who enjoy stuff like that. Like I said, I lean more toward comedy, so I mean, I do tend to go there. I like dystopia things also. I've really got into. I think I talked to you guys about Fallout and
Mhm.
things like that. Just the whole boys, it gets a little rough for me. I don't know.
Yeah.
Something I'll like
Um,
5 years from now.
Uh,
the miniature wife on
yeah.
Peacock.
Yeah.
Um, finish that up. It's a good quick watch. I think 10 like 40-ish minute episodes. It's got Elizabeth Banks and another fella in it from the most known from his role in Succession. The premise is that Elizabeth Banks gets shrunken down by the Succession guy, who's a scientist, and she's an author, and it kind of takes off from there as he's trying to figure out how to have the antidote to not only shrink things but bring them back to normal size.
Right.
Pretty cool little show. Yeah, definitely. It's got some drama, but mostly comedy. I mean, good little show.
Yeah, I ended up watching the 3 episodes of Malcolm in the Middle, Life's Still Unfair. That was freaking awesome too.
Nice.
Nice seeing Bryan Cranston back in that role.
In the comedy stuff.
But yeah, that was a really good one too.
All right, very cool. All right, so let's move on to some of these topics. We got a little bit of good news, or news that's not terrible, I guess. China bans OnlyFans, calls it a Western disease. I don't know if it's probably not good for the content creators, but might be good for some people that get sorely obsessed with things like that and maybe get duped and taken for a ride. So, yeah, maybe. France bans influencers from promoting extreme surgery and dieting, which I guess that's a thing that you have to be careful with these influencers. Yeah. I'm an old man, so those influencers don't mean anything to me. That's beyond my time. But these young kids growing up, they really take to those people like that. That is their role models or their celebrities, really. So it's just something that you have to kind of have a little bit of regulation there, which I don't seem like we have very much of here. USA scientists are actually doing something up here, finding ways to regenerate aged cartilage and reverse arthritis, maybe?
I've heard about that.
Yeah, that one's super cool. I mean, both my parents have arthritis, and so I know genetically I'm screwed. So hopefully in about 20 years or so, maybe they got that figured out. So
yeah, one can hope, right? Absolutely. Iceland makes equal pay for all, so no pay gaps for sex or anything like that. It's just all equal pay there. Matt was talking about this last time. Japan created a plant-based plastic that dissolves in salt water. So that's going to be good if they can implement that on a grand scale.
Yeah.
Seems like Australia's close to ending cervical cancer. That's a big win for women there. And there was the very first ever 13-year-old boy that was cured of terminal brain cancer. So these are some positive things that we like to talk about. Now we're done.
Yep.
Matt, let's talk about some other stuff. Braden, let's just discuss this Iran mess. You give us your take on the war. I try to stay out of it. It's just, it's so daunting and so like, So tell us all about it.
Oh, good Lord. The thing that's most striking to me is, and I've talked with a couple fellows at work about this, the market has been surprisingly resilient throughout all of this. It's dipped. It's no longer at 50,000. But it's not dropped like you would think. Oil prices, as of we're recording this, it was on Friday, actually dropped, I think, back down in the 90s or something along those lines. To me, it's being used as a lot of market manipulation. But aside from that, the other thing that's striking to me is the information. We're being told one thing by this administration, while Iran is like, for example, yesterday we were told the Strait of Hormuz is open, wide open.
Yep.
We're done. It's over. And it was either the same day or early this morning. Iran's like, no, it's still closed. So it is pretty crazy what we're being told, what could be real, what could not be real. So
wasn't there some point of this week when we were blocking boats from going through? It's like, okay.
And one of the funniest things, somebody had a comment out on the interwebs. It may have been Iran, honestly. It was from somebody's Twitter account. And it was something to the effect of, real life doesn't work like social media. You can't block someone that blocks you. So, it's, I don't know, it's quite astonishing to me, just the absolute mess that this whole thing has been. We still don't know why we're meddling in this. And if it is oil, okay, which obviously it is. And yeah, I'm going to sound like a tree hugging hippie liberal. Fuck it. Should that not trigger something in a lot of people's brains that maybe we should try to transition away from oil in some capacity?
There's so many people's pockets that would be affected by that, though.
Exactly. So, yeah.
That's why he hates the windmills.
Yeah.
I would not be opposed to nuclear energy. I think I've said that on this show before, but I guess people are afraid of another Chernobyl.
Yeah. If it's used properly, that may be a possibility. I need to look more into it. I'm sure it may just be another hoax, but I guess apparently they have successfully made hydrogen engines now also. And they've talked about that. But once again, if you've got something that runs on water, who's going to make the money off that? Where's that going to change? Yeah.
Well, one of the big things. Go ahead.
I was going to say, where's that going to change the price of our water to where it's too expensive for us to have running water into our homes? You know.
Right. So with the war and with the strait, Braden. Now, explain it here. Now, I keep hearing this stuff about Iran is charging so much to go through the strait. Like we're having to pay this now, where before it was never a thing.
Yeah.
And also that the petrodollar is now being kind of exempted. That we're not using that. They're not using that anymore. They're accepting China currency. Is that correct?
That's what I've heard as well. And on top of all of that, there was a report where, again, it was either late yesterday or early today that we would pay them $20 billion to get the enriched uranium and essentially pay them $20 billion to just get the fuck out of there. Again, from what I understand, we would pay them $20 billion for something that we started. In contrast, I think that's about 10 times the amount of the original Iran nuclear deal that Obama had. Now, people can debate whether or not that was a deal worth its weight in salt or what have you. I'll say it one more time. We're going to pay them $20 billion to stop something that we started.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess that's the art of the deal.
That is. It's kind of like the Netflix thing. You try to buy something, and then you get money for not buying it. I like that. It's good. It's a good deal.
I heard someone refer to it about the fact that we were all stating that, and I say we all in general here, of course, stating that we wanted somebody to run the country like a business, and he is running it like a business. He's running it like the businesses he's ran all throughout his life. He's grabbed companies, he's basically stripped them for everything they were worth and bankrupted them, and then filed bankruptcy and kept all the money. So it really feels like that's what's occurring with us too, to me.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so if we have to pay them, couldn't we have just brokered a deal with them without having the whole war issue thing? Because I mean, people like
I
money.
mean,
Couldn't that have happened, or was that?
well, that's the funny thing. We had that, as I mentioned,
But
and I
as far
guess
as the
because
uranium and all that, like, because we're getting a bunch of it now, right? Is that the deal? We're just going to go get it, right?
it was obliterated back in June, but I guess it's not. So now we have to pay to get it after we obliterated it.
It's always
So
better
it's
after it's been obliterated.
it's even more enriched.
Little chunks.
It's this thing called 4D chess that us common folk just simply do not understand. And yeah, it's gas will go back down magically, and everything will continue being the hottest country in the world.
Okay. Well, it's good. I'm glad. Um, the thing that I've been seeing mostly is these damn videos, these AI Lego videos and other videos that Iran's been putting out there with America and Trump. I mean, pretty good. They're pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. I mean,
Yeah, the Lego videos, those are probably in my top 10 in the last week of
no, right?
things that I've listened to. You know, the hard part about it right now is we listen to those, and maybe 10 years ago we would have listened to those and been like, what the hell are they talking about? This is all crazy, but it almost sounds like they're spitting hot fire, at this point in time. It's hard not to listen. Probably one of my favorites. I don't know if you saw it or not, but it was I think it was something real cheesy like "You block me, I'm blocking you," but it was Donald Trump
that
like in
80s
an
one.
80s video.
Yes, I saw that one.
Yeah,
It's like a flock of seagulls' hair. He's like, blockade.
Yeah, I was like, this is pretty damn good. It's like, and then some of the stuff coming out from our side back seems like we really suck at this compared to these guys, and they're doing this on like busting up electrical grids and things of that nature at the moment. So
Yeah. So we had a chance to end the war, and then the House fell by one vote, right, Braden? They didn't really get there.
Yep.
So we're going to continue on or not or whatever, and I don't know, kind of a deal. All right, so let's move on. U.S. military to automatically register Americans for the draft or for the select service, right? Not the draft, but the select service. That was the thing.
Yeah. So I do think and I don't have it handy in front of me, but I do think there is some form of registration that automatic registration that already occurs. But I
automatically?
think
Or
I don't think it's automatically per se.
yeah. Okay.
But I think this basically cuts. I think it's when you either register to vote or
Yeah, yeah. Because you get this card. Remember that card you
yeah,
get when you're like
yeah.
18, 19, whatever you do? Do you remember that map?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I
That,
think this basically just does it where even if you don't register to vote or what have you, you're
right.
automatically
It's
yeah.
just automatic. So the point is, how does that happen?
Uh, like
They
how
are
did this occur?
no, I'm saying how are they registering you automatically? Because they have this trail of you that they are keeping tabs completely, right? I mean that
Oh yeah.
you there is there any going to be such a thing as off the grid anymore? I mean unless you're literally in the wilderness of West Virginia or something. Like seriously, what they really they have you, right? They have you. They know where you are.
Unless you train an AI to run your social media,
Okay.
and then you somehow just leave that AI program running and leave. Well, I've just gave away my plan, so fuck.
Oh, there it is. This isn't really
Uh,
Braden talking tonight. You see the glitches?
uh, no, I
Yeah,
mean they do
that's all
have
I
your
took from it.
data.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I took from it is that they just they don't need for you to do anything because they already have you. They have tabs on you, and so they yeah, which is just not like we didn't know that before, but it's just further confirmation that these things are happening. So we lost the guy over there in Iran, and they were trying to find him, and they said what they used was the CIA used a thing called a Ghost Murmur to locate this guy, which was not like an AI thing at all. It was just something that detects heartbeats because he was hiding in a cave, I guess, and the Iran soldier was trying to find him, and that's how we found him. It's pretty wild.
I think there was an aspect of AI to that though.
Oh, was there?
Uh, yeah. So what I was reading about that one, and I don't know if we read the same articles or not, but the software, brings in all kinds of different sound, and then AI helps
Filtered
block
out.
out, for the lack of better terms, what's not a heartbeat. But the fact that they have something that's sensitive enough to pick up someone's heartbeat, through a microphone, and then for AI to be able to parse that out to where they could pick out which heartbeat is yours, because I'm sure that's not the only heartbeat they were picking up.
Right.
That's pretty insane.
It does seem like we're employing in these last with Iran and Venezuela, we're employing some new techniques, aren't we? Kind of showing a little bit. I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but we're kind of showing some of our new advancements to the
We got
world.
the we got the heart finder and the discombobulator. So
Discombobulator, yeah. So that's wild though. Um, all right, Braden, you want to talk about some LGBTQ plus content being taught in elementary schools?
yeah. So again, having a little conversation at work, and I made the comment. We were talking, and I brought up a similar comment that I made last time, that I would rather have my kids read to by a drag queen rather than learn about the Saint Charlie Kirk. And this gentleman and another guy that was actually sitting there was like, well, they're already teaching uh, LGBTQ stuff in schools, and why and yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, I've heard nothing about this. But doing a little research, it is a thing. According to some articles I've looked up, this is from American Physiological Association. There's 6 states that require LGBTQ inclusion in curricular standards. For example, one state, Connecticut, requires the state education department to develop LGBTQ inclusive model curricula, but does not require the schools to use it, which I'm sure gets left out of all those nifty Facebook posts. There is some stuff about Tennessee. Several states, such as Florida, Arizona, and Tennessee, require schools to notify parents about LGBTQ content and offer opt-out or opt-in policies. And it also centers around diverse family structures, LGBTQ history, and anti-bullying lessons. So my question is, and I'm not saying perhaps there's isolated incidents that maybe, and nothing that I could find, it does mention K through 12 in a handful of these articles. Nothing I could find says specifically what grades. I guess it could be K through 12. But as long as it's not anything explicit, what harm is this causing? Because if you're teaching diverse family structure, anti-bullying, and just the overall history of that community, what's the harm? Now, again, I can understand if it's explicit stuff, whatever that may be, but I don't understand this. I'm at a loss.
Well, because I'll tell you what. Because it's detrimental to the nuclear family. The nuclear family. Yeah. I mean, and that's the thing going back to religion and stuff and how they're for years preached this. And maybe they didn't so much for a while, but I think they're back onto it about preaching about how it's a sin and all this and how, it shouldn't exist. So definitely a lot of schools are not going to use this. So even if it was a thing in Tennessee, I guarantee the majority of Tennessee schools would opt out themselves without doing any of this. Now, are there gay teachers and stuff? Of course there are. And would some of them probably implement some of this to certain degrees? Sure. But yes, there's going to be pushback from the ultra conservatives because that's what they like to do. So it's going to be because at the end of the day, certain people, they want a tunnel vision narrative, and if you stray from that, they're gonna pitchfork you. Okay, and so yeah, it's just not much has changed about that. Again, we kind of went low for a little while, but it's definitely roared its head again. Matt?
Much on the same line, as long as it's not explicit, as long as they're not doing like the Monty Python scenes where the teachers, bringing the person in and having sex in front of them. I feel like I could.
This is how you do it, boys and girls.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
who wants to volunteer?
That's definitely extreme. But yeah, no, I agree that if it's just teaching about the history and things of that nature, then I don't see that any harm in it. Obviously, it's a thing. There's been homosexuality for thousands and thousands of years, if not for the entire human history.
Oh,
So,
I think it only started during COVID. That's what I think. I think, yeah,
and,
that's per
and it's
person.
all and it's all here in the United States too. It's nowhere else. So,
Absolutely. It started in Montana. Uh,
me.
well, yeah. Uh,
Uh,
all right. So, adjacent to this a little bit, Braden Tuck sent me this article to look over a little bit. I did look it over, but I wanted you to do a deep dive because it made my brain hurt. This is a bill. This is the SB-145 bill in California, but also in some other states like Colorado, right? Explain what this is. It's also being referred to as the pedo bill.
yeah, so it's also it was signed. I'll kind of start backwards a little bit, or it was signed in 2020, became effective on January 1st, 2021. And the bill amended sex offender registration laws to eliminate a disparity that previously required automatic registration for LGBTQ individuals convicted of certain consensual sex acts with minors aged 14 to 17, while giving judges discretion in similar cases involved in heterosexual acts. So, as we were talking about in our group text, there's a kernel of truth to some of this stuff. But there's some misconceptions. It has very little to do with the permissions of anyone engaging in sexual conduct. It aims to protect the rights of both the perpetrator and the victim as citizens. There's still rightful punishments for sexual crime in the state of California.
Right.
There's misconceptions that it'll make it easier for sex offenders to get away with sexual crime. There won't be blanket punishments on certain types of sexual misconduct, but punishments still stand. They'll be based on case-by-case basis instead of a particular overarching rule of law. And there's misconceptions that in regards to the pedo bill, that it's written to protect predators. And that's not necessarily the case. For example, if a 19-year-old has a 17-year-old girlfriend and they have sex, that's statutory rape. But the law right now says that the judge does not have to put the 19-year-old boy on the sex offender registry because the kind of sex they were having.
Okay.
But if a 19-year-old boy is having sex with a 17-year-old boyfriend, the judge must put the 19-year-old on the sex offender registry, even if it was completely consensual, even if they were boyfriends.
Wait. Now, back up.
So
is that the old version? And now
right,
it's
right,
okay.
right.
Gotcha.
And that's the purpose. An honest judge will determine whether or not actions consensual, illegal, or not warrant lifelong sex offender registration. So again, there are kernels of truth to some of it, but I think understanding, like, that was an excellent example, that if there are members of the LGBTQ community that are like that example presented, why should they have to? Because the way I understand it, the old bill made it in some ways targeted that community.
It was a harsher punishment.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So that's where that plays into factor. Okay. So, but is there a deal about a 10-year? There was I read something about a 10-year gap between the two. Is that a part of that somehow, or did I just misread that somewhere? Because that's where, and maybe I
Like a
was,
10-year gap between individuals, or
yeah, like something about like it was giving leniency to a 10-year kind of a deal.
now I didn't find anything like that, but that's not to say it wasn't in there. Um,
That could have been on the link that Tuck sent. No, I don't think Tuck actually sent me a link. So I did look up a link, and that kind of was in there. So I was getting confused a little bit about some of it, and some of it wasn't making sense. So look, I mean, I know that we're in a different culture than when we were growing up, but let's face it. I mean, when we were growing up, I mean, it was totally fine to date a 17-year-old if you're 18 or 19, kind of a deal. I mean, again, it was a different world. Uh, we don't look at it the same way now. But if they're if I think at some point, it's you look at the legal age of consent, right? And and if parents are okay with it and they're okay with it, I mean, why would they get charged with that label of sex offender?
yeah.
It's a touchy situation, but
Yeah. And this goes to the thing of when that community talks about rights, seeking to have the same rights. This is some of the stuff
Mhm.
they're seeking. I mean,
I need you to explain the pedo bill portion of it though a little bit better to me. Like, um, if because I mean, obviously, yeah, if you're technically 18 or 19 and they're 17, you're an adult and they're not, right? I mean, it could be like a month apart, right? But still, which is kind of all crazy anyway, because we all know that brains don't really fully develop until what, you're 24, 25.
yeah.
So, but okay, so where is it? Because the way Tuck presented to me was basically California is letting people, especially LGBTQ, be pedophiles and not have any repercussions
So
to a degree.
I, again, I mean, everything I just read off, I don't necessarily see that. It sounds like it's up to the judge in certain cases. Now, could there be an instance where you do have a 25-year-old with a 15-year-old?
Okay.
And obviously that would not be cool. Um, there could be instances where that's ruled it was consensual or or however they decide to rule it, and that 25-year-old gets a pass. The
So we're
way
saying
that
is we're not going just by this is so it isn't a blanket statement to say, okay, you're an adult, you're underage, you're getting this conviction, blah blah blah. We're saying if the 25-year-old obviously is okay with it, if the 15-year-old, well, I don't, it's not under 15 because what's the age of consent in California? I don't know. We'll say 17. I don't know what it is. 16. We'll say 16. The 16-year-old is okay with it. Her parents are okay with it. Everybody's okay with it. Kind of a deal. I don't know. That's a gray area. Matt, you got anything on that?
I don't know enough to actually have an opinion on this one. I know my thoughts on pedophiles, but it doesn't seem to necessarily go the same way. I think we should invite them all out for a party and. No, okay, never mind. I'll
A
stop there.
pizza party?
with Kool-Aid,
um, okay, so again, I think we're in a different culture than we were again when I was growing up,
Yeah,
But there definitely were people that were in the 20s, with teenagers and stuff like
I,
that. So,
I'll put it like this: there is a kernel of truth to. I could see where you could spin that to a quote unquote pedophile bill, whatever. However, the language of that bill, to me, is not strictly for that. Maybe I'm a tree hugging liberal. I don't know. But just reading the language of it, it's not exactly that.
And I'm still wondering which part of the military these kernels of truth come from. So it's sorry, horrible joke right in the middle of all that.
All right. So I think that's a better clarification. So it's just a bill mostly to sort of not make one group targeted about this sort of disparity between ages and stuff, and also make it a little bit more on a case by case basis, other than a blanket statement as a whole, where everybody gets labeled as a sex offender for the rest of their life because they were an 18-year-old having sex with their 17-year-old girlfriend, kind of a deal. And again, and where I'm going to assume in some of these cases the state stepped in rather than the parents. Maybe the parents were cool with it, but it didn't have, you know what I mean? That kind of deal. So again, where if you say the age is this, of consent is this, and everybody's okay with it, and their parents are okay with it, and there's no charges to be found, then I don't know. I mean, again, I came from a different world, but I mean, we look at stuff now and go, oh, well, obviously this was wrong, and we don't look at things in the same light as we used to. You know, obviously, people are constantly shitting on people like Leonardo DiCaprio and his choice of dating, and Tobey Maguire scene with the 20-year-old and stuff like that. You know, we go, oh, you know, but back 20, 30 years ago, it really wasn't even a thought that much. I mean, maybe a little bit, but
I mean, a lot of the rock stars, especially from the 60s and 70s and 80s,
80s especially. Ooh. Come on. I mean, they give Anthony Kiedis hell because he put it in his book. He was dumb enough to put it in his book, but come on. I mean, the people that didn't put it in any books, I mean, yeah. Oh my gosh. Absolutely. All right. So there we go. There's the SB-145. All right. Now, I've been following this story for a little bit. Not thoroughly, but I've been seeing headlines and stuff. I mean, at some point it was like 7 people, then it was 8 people. And then when I sent it to you as the article, it was 9 people, but now it's already up to 10 dead or missing scientists. So this is really weird that all these scientists have either ended up dead or are now missing. A lot of them, I don't think they're all in the same bracket, but a lot of them had to do with space research, UFO research, all this sort of wild research going on, and they're all fucking gone.
Wow.
What do we make of this? Like, is there like some sort of secret invasion coming, and they could be a whistleblower, and they're like offing them? I mean, what's happening here?
Maybe they're just getting raptured by the aliens. You know, like, hey, you know we're here now. It's time for us to take you home with us, as opposed to you stay here. But no, you know, honestly, Mike, that I don't know. I think we talked about this some time ago. But, you know, isn't there some kind of statement now that for everyone to be leery if our government suddenly tells us that aliens are coming to attack?
Yeah.
I was thinking there was some kind of article we were reading about that too. I would be curious to find that again and see if that's one of the scientists that's missing now. But it was more around the fact of AI and then being able to generate such propaganda at this point in time that can really do some damage. But that's wild to think about. I'll have to go look at that one too, because that's not something that I knew about.
Yeah.
Do they have a documentary on Netflix about it yet?
Not yet, but I'm sure it's coming. By that time, it's total maybe 20 or 30. I don't
Yeah.
know. Brady, any thoughts on this? It's kind of weird. It is changing. It obviously doesn't seem on the up and up to me, but that's just where
No.
I'm at with it.
Um, I mean, it doesn't surprise me in the least. There's a lot of unprecedented, strange stuff going on right now. So,
Yeah, but it just seems to me like there's some people know some things that they don't want them to know or they don't want them to tell. That's just where I'm
yeah,
getting from it. It just seems a little odd that one or two, okay, fine, fine. People go missing. That's not that big a deal. Three or four, well, okay, that's a little odd. But now we're up to 10. Again, some of them are dead, but I mean, some of them they didn't even disclose how they died. I think they said one of them was natural causes, but who knows? I mean, that could easily be fake.
Yeah.
But there's like at least maybe four or five of them that are missing. You know,
yeah.
again, unless they are
Has
up in
anybody
space, like Matt said, I
yeah.
don't know.
Has anybody checked in on our I'm not saying it's aliens guy, the Giorgio? Is he still out there somewhere?
I don't know.
Somebody might want to go check on, we'll knock on his door.
Exactly. A
He's been
wellness
telling us for
check.
a long time there's aliens to be aware of. So
That's right. That's right. Um, all right. Animal serial killer. Um, I guess in this day and age, it's hard being a serial killer. It's kind of hard. We don't, you don't get out there and do all the deeds you could do back in the 70s because of DNA. But so now we're going to animals. Animal serial killer skinned 21 dogs. They all washed up ashore on Nooms Island, aka Dog Island. So we got somebody out there just saying, well, fuck, if I can't kill humans, I got to kill something. Um, Pretty wild. Apparently, there's some
then
wild
he's skinning them.
He's skinning them. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Which, I mean, I guess it's in the water, so I don't know. Maybe it's all washed off the evidence, but I mean, evidence is evidence. You leave it behind. It doesn't matter if it's a human or a dog. Yeah, they may not pursue it too hard with animals, but still, that could end up
Yeah.
being uh,
Well, it,
discussion.
and don't they tie like murdering of animals to most serial killers that you run into? Like they all
Yeah.
killed.
Like when they're younger, they kill
Yeah.
animals and stuff. They kind of start out that way, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and that could be it. This could be his start. But again, we don't have as many serial killers anymore because it's a lot easier to get caught these days. But I mean, there's still some out there.
No.
So yeah,
Unless you
you're
got
right.
enough money.
It could, well, yeah, there you go. Well, the government, yeah. I mean, what? The it could be in his infamousy. You're right. It could be.
Yeah.
All right. So Matt sent this, and so and it kind of rained on my fucking parade. We were celebrating Bondi getting fired last time because fucking hate her, but then Matt sent this, and I'm like, ah, shit.
Yeah. And I apologize. I didn't look more into that either. But if that's true, that's
No,
one hell of a chess move.
it seems to be true. Yeah, Bondi won't testify to the oversight committee that she was supposed to. Um, you know what? I'm like, this is total bullshit, and obviously
Yeah.
probably the reason that she actually got fired anyway. But to me, it's like, okay, you commit a crime. Okay, let's say you rip off millions of dollars from your company. Well, they fire you for doing it. Well, you're fired. Oh, now you don't have to go to court. Oh, I'm fired. I mean, I'm just gonna go home. Cool. That's not how it works. Why does
No.
this happen here? Why is this a thing where she gets to dip out and be like, "See ya"?
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, I think we all know she knows a lot more than she ever acted like she did. So
Well, yeah,
she
and
was great with sleight of hand, is what I say. It's the Dow's up to 5,000. Sorry.
It's just shitty. It's just shitty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But it's underhanded. Like I said, that was one hell of a chess move. Like if you
Yeah.
wanted to make sure that the person who may potentially know way more than they should doesn't testify, then this is a way to do it.
That's it, man. That's it. All right. Artemis 2, they went to space, came back, did a slingshot, came back, blah, blah, blah. But there were some videos, and people were saying fake, fake, because apparently some green screen on there. That really fuels
Um,
the old conspiracy theories. Huh?
yeah, and I was reading something about people talking about the fact that not the aspect ratio. Oh my goodness, for lack of better terms, the quality of the pictures also just seemed like they were less than the quality of pictures that we got from the original moon
That's weird. That'd be
landing.
weird, wouldn't it? Would that be weird?
Yeah,
Well,
you would
they
think
didn't go to the moon,
since all
right?
were yeah.
That was Kubrick.
Yeah. Oh, Kubrick.
So it's but yeah,
So
it's talking about the fact that the photos were such bad quality.
I was talking to Cliff the other day, kind of somewhat about this, and I'll give some credence. Not Clearwater Revival, but I'll give some credence to to the '69 thing. I'm inclined to believe we win.
69. Yeah.
Just keep them coming.
Yeah.
But I oh, I, but I'm inclined to believe we win. But Christ on a cracker, what of all the fucking things? You watch a rocket take off. You watch a rocket or a capsule or whatever return. Don't we have the technology to go to fucking outer space? Like I don't. This is like the flat Earth shit. Like I don't understand. I don't trust the government as much as the next guy. Sure, but we're finding fucking downed pilots with heart murmur detection. I'm pretty positive we can go to outer space. Like, come on.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see any reason not to believe it.
I think one of the biggest arguments that they have is the fact that it took so long to even go back, even toward the moon, because that's a long time, we're talking over 50 years here.
Yeah.
It's been since of course they didn't go to the moon, they went past it, but I'm just saying like it's just been so long. It does seem a little odd that it took that long to go back, I guess, or to even go in that general direction. But I'll just have to ask Katy Perry. I think she knows.
Oh yeah,
I would think
she would know.
does.
Resident astronaut Katy Perry.
All right. Paramount stock jumps up 11% after 24 billion Middle Eastern investment by Saudi Arabia, Qatar, people like that. What do we make of this, Braden?
Well, I mean, we touched on the Netflix thing earlier, and they made money for not spending money. Paramount is. I look for Paramount Plus. Once this all gets integrated, I look for Paramount Plus to certainly increase their subscription price.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, it'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see what happens to a lot of Adult Swim shows. a lot of more, for lack of a better way of putting it, left-leaning shows.
Yeah.
Fucking John Oliver.
Mhm.
But if South Park and Jon Stewart are on there, okay, maybe. But aside from all that, I mean,
Well, it's really hard for them to get rid of South Park because it is like their biggest show.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
that would be kind of a suicide mission to do that. I know that they probably don't like it, but it is really a juggernaut there. Uh,
yeah,
Daily Show, I don't know. I mean, I feel like the Daily Show, they probably see it as a little bit of small fish, big pond. I mean,
yeah,
it only comes on what 4 times a week. Sometimes it doesn't even come on the whole week.
Oh yeah.
They miss a lot. It's not really like just pumping stuff constantly kind of a deal. So having a few of those, but you're right. If you bring over the whole catalog of WB and HBO, and that stuff has got a lot of that sort of left leaning kind of ideology to it. Yeah, it'll be interesting if some of that stuff just gets lost, you know, no longer on stream, or maybe gets on there for a little while, then goes off and you never see it again, kind of a deal.
yeah,
I don't know. I mean, it just would seem kind of weird to you get rid of Colbert, right? Because you don't like what he's saying, and then you allow some of these other people to. So eventually, it might not be a shakeup initially, but probably at some point they're gonna cut some ties there that they don't like. I would say because that's the whole game, right? Is controlling the narrative.
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. South Carolina guy is doing a workout, watching it on YouTube, doing this workout, and it's apparently a pretty hard workout that he's doing, and he's like, oh, this trainer is killing me. And I guess his phone called the cops.
Oh wow.
I mean, we we know they listen.
Yeah.
But funny story. And I know a lot of phones are equipped with phones and smartwatches are equipped with safety features. But I mean, they can go awry. There was one night I was getting lucky, and my watch has car crash detection, and it started flagging or whatever the fuck, and I'm like, hang on before this son of a bitch calls the fucking cops. We had a good laugh about it, but as cool as some of these safety features are, they can glitch, and as I said, we know our phones listen to us. I mean, on one hand, would it be kind of a neat thing to be like, hey, I'm going to get shot, and your phone automatically calls the cops? Sure, in theory, but in this
Well,
case,
I just think that we talk. It's another way to control language because you'd have to really watch what you say,
mm,
at all times because if you say, "Oh, this weather, this heat is killing me," it's anything is killing you, that which we
yeah,
do as or if you say, "Oh, I'm gonna kill you if you don't stop," it's anything. I'm gonna shoot you. I'm gonna do anything to you. Um, that would just sort of totally control the way that we behave. And I don't, again, I don't like things that control language. And that was something that really would do it. I mean, yes, if you say, call 911, someone's killing me. Yeah, okay. That makes sense, you know. Uh, uh, but yeah, for them to just listen in and decide that, well, I think this guy needs our help. It's a little
yeah,
scary to me. Matt?
yeah, yeah.
No, it doesn't surprise me. Uh, I like the your anecdote there about the car crash thing. That's way to go, man. Way to go. I guess maybe you would have been in trouble if maybe something was uttered like "shoot me in the face" or something like
It
that.
was a collision.
Yeah,
What a collision!
like all of a sudden you got the cops and the
Oh,
ambulance there for a car crash and possible shooting.
It's like, come on in, boys. Watch,
Yeah,
watch this if you like.
yeah.
oh,
It's like oh, now
Oh,
it's all on body cam. So, oh man,
oh yeah.
oh, oh.
All
it's
right.
always fun when you got a guy who's half asleep this time of night to just toss random shit out after you've said something fairly intelligent. Uh,
That's good. That's good.
Oh.
All right, moving on. Todd Lyons says ICE uses graphite, an Israel's spyware, and that it will target without you clicking on anything. You don't have to push a button or like do some sort of spam thing. It's basically almost completely hidden, but they can use that. Yeah, to if you become a person of interest, yeah, you could get spied on without even knowing that you're being spied on. So that's always good to know.
yeah, I hadn't heard about ICE in a while. I guess they're still stuck at the airport.
I stuck at the. I don't know. Maybe, yeah. Um, other than sitting at home listening to everything we say, I guess.
Yeah,
Mm.
or outside of our
At the
homes
airport.
or wherever they're at.
Yeah. So, moving on. AI. We make AI music. We talked about AI music and stuff, and this is the thing that's happening now. People are making a lot of them, and with it comes a lot of wild and crazy AI songs because songs that you can just think of at the top of your head to be really silly and funny have happened. And there's a bunch of channels. I've listened to a couple of different channels on YouTube that devote to these sort of things. And Braden sent one, which was "Finger Me Under the Table" at the Hooters song, and
Yeah.
uh,
I couldn't
and
get
there's a
that one to
lot.
play, so
I think that was like, well,
no.
so there's a lot of them like that, but it's kind of wild, and I think they're funny, but it's just they're basically taking like an old Tommy version of, or old Tommy genres of music and making them very perverse.
Yeah.
So yes, if you need a good laugh, you can find those on again YouTube, probably TikTok, Instagram, stuff like that. But there's a lot of them.
When's the last time either of you two have been to a Hooters?
Okay, so when I lived in Richmond, Kentucky, there was one there. So that was when was that? Um, like 2007, maybe something like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been
Maybe
a long time.
2017 for me.
It's probably 5 years, maybe for me. Uh, it just, I don't know, the novelty kind of wore off after I actually got laid. Um, it plus the food, it was to me. I don't know. The food was always okay. Like that wasn't their strong point.
No, it wasn't
Um,
supposed to be, but the the fried pickles and chicken were okay. I thought they were okay. I
yeah,
mean, it wasn't like it's not a place where you're like, oh my God, I got to go get that food. I'm craving it, but but I do wonder as we again change in culture, like where we're not really sort of objectifying people as much as we were back in the day. how many of those are going to survive? Kind of a deal. Because
Yeah.
that's kind of something. It's a little bit more frowned upon these days than it used to be. But yeah, there's still some are still kicking, still kicking. All right. Scientists invented a fake disease and they uploaded it into some like online journals and stuff and all that. And they watched, and within a matter of weeks, AI had presented it as fact.
Hmm.
So, and we see this a lot, and this is why I warn people all the time that you can't take everything AI says, for 100% fact and truth, because it's only going by data. It only knows what it can pull, and if the pull is wrong, then it's wrong.
Yeah, and you have to know enough about what you're doing in order to be able to catch those things. I
That's
know
true.
I've
That's
talked to
true.
folks who are building apps and things of that nature, and like, well, it's got this one part, and I don't understand why it's there. I'm like, well, then that may be the part that's siphoning all of your money out of your banking account.
Yeah. But what's going to happen when like all these search engines rely solely on AI, and then whenever AI gets a hold of this content that's false, and then you search to try to find the truth, but all it's sending you is places that are showing that it is.
Yeah.
It seems like it might be a sort of a rabbit hole that you're just like, yeah. It's right. I've checked it. It looks good.
Yeah.
Seems right. So I don't know. That could be uh, could be kind of wild there. So um, speaking of AI, I did watch this the AI doc, or how I became an apoca, apocalyptimist. Uh, Pretty decent a documentary film. Uh, didn't really show me a whole lot of things that I didn't already like know or question. I think so. At first, he brings in like a lot of these people that are basically more doom and gloom about AI. It's basically saying how that it's going to be bad and it's going to do a lot of stuff. And then he gets like overwhelmed about all that. He brings in some positive people who are way more enthusiastic about AI and say AI is going to do all these good things. They're going to create all these things and help save the world and heal the world and do all these things. But those were kind of few and far between, and that didn't last very long. And then the rest of the movie was basically about how corporations are going to take a hold of AI and what is going to happen, the way that they are racing to the finish line to get ahead of each other and all that kind of stuff. So overall, I wouldn't say it's too positive about AI. I mean, it definitely. I would say it definitely leans toward the be wary of it kind of a deal. But worth a watch, though. I think for most people to kind of brush up on kind of where we are and where it's going, because it's changing so rapidly every day. Seems like that it's always it's always something that you're not even going to keep on top of because it is so expanding all the time. But the main thing is that obviously if AI becomes, I mean, they're saying that pretty much without a doubt, people that are like babies now, they're never gonna be it. AI is always going to be smarter than them. Like they're never gonna surpass AI. AI will have surpassed the human race by the time they grow up. Is what they're saying. So the main thing would be like, okay, and they're and obviously they say all these things like, well, and pretty much in any scenario that they give them with AI, AI will always choose a nuclear option as far as to end the world kind of a thing, which is never good. So
Yeah.
I guess my thing is, okay, you have all this stuff, you're playing with this thing, you better make damn sure that AI doesn't have the ability to do that. And that's all I'm saying. Because if and obviously things are run on computers and all that stuff, so who knows if that's even going to be an option. But if you ever give AI the capabilities of making these decisions, then yeah, we're probably fucked. So
Yeah.
it's not good. It's not good.
Yeah,
Another thing about go ahead.
go ahead. Oh, I was going to say it reminds me of Star Trek episode where the culture worships the computer that has been running them for so many millennia, um, and then all of a sudden it turns on them.
Yeah, it's like we knew it, and we just did it anyway. So
Yeah.
there we go. Another thing about AI, they're talking about an AI plan that would implant false memories into prison inmates for rehabilitation.
Wow.
Yeah. I ask, wasn't this the plot to a movie or a show?
Yeah.
I think show on Netflix, Altered Carbon, had a little bit of that. Dark City,
City, yeah.
I believe. Um, it's it's fucking wild, man. Like, what?
Well, yeah. And first of all, if this actually came to fruition and they actually were able to plant memories, it wouldn't just be for them. Then it would become a thing where,
Oh yeah.
and we're talking about what was that? Spotless Mind, the Jim
Yeah.
Carrey movie.
Yep.
Eternal
Eternal
Sunshine of
Dark,
Spotless Mind.
right? Eternal Sunshine, yeah. So we're talking about like literally instead of like erasing memories, we would be replacing them with something. This would become a thing. I don't know. It just seems so bizarre, and I don't think we're there yet. I think, but I the fact that they're thinking about it is wild. So I don't know. We'll see. Um,
Yeah, I think I had brought up before about the AI, and um, a lot of times they're having the right end that it can't do subliminal messaging to influence people's actions or actions against others. I thought that was a very weird thing to read about. Also, like if you know it has the capability, then why is everybody touching it?
yeah,
And
exactly.
which brings us back to like I think it was the Twilight Zone where all the folks watching their TVs after it flashed a couple of random times were all under a spell, So it could very well be one of these days we'll all look at our phones for some reason. We'll all get a mass text, and next thing you know, we're all just part of the collective.
Mm.
Sounds fun. Sounds fun. All right. Moving on.
I am Borg.
Stockholm syndrome. So we've all heard of this thing that
Yeah.
happened way back in the day. But what I'm hearing here and reading about is they're saying that there actually wasn't anything really truthful here in this so-called Stockholm syndrome, other than the fact that this guy took these people hostages. They were hostage, and the police sort of totally botched everything trying to get them out, and like pumping with tear gas and all this stuff, and like sort of scaring the hostages more than the guy who took them hostage.
Uh,
And so I guess for them to make the point that they were more afraid of the cops than they were of him, they spun that around to say, "Oh, they fell in love with this guy or something," and that's kind of where that all came from. So it really isn't even a thing, even though we've now made movies and movies about it and talk about it and
yeah.
do sort of a thing, but it all sort of just initiated from incompetence.
Yeah. That's why I wonder why we don't have like a Waco syndrome or something like that too. So,
Yeah, yeah.
sorry. Um,
Well, I mean, I obviously with that was a little bit different, but with that, it's like yes, there are different versions of that story
yeah.
that you can, when you hear them talking about it, it's like, and I don't know. I've listened to a lot of it, and I mean, I don't agree fully with either one of them because they both have they both have their reasons, right? They both have their uh, reasons for making that narrative uh,
Yeah.
what they want it to be. So I don't know. Unless you were there, it's hard to say. Okay, let's talk about Jesus. Not really Jesus. Let's talk about Trump, which is Jesus, maybe. Maybe, is he? No. Well, he was for a meme anyway. Trump shares a meme of him as I'm sorry, not Jesus, as a doctor. Dr.
Yep.
Trump. Tell us about it, Braden.
So yeah, I could see where a lot of people would get it mixed up. I don't know when the last time you guys went to the doctor, but they essentially, with the technology we have now, lay their hand upon your head with a glowing orb in the other, and you're healed. So modern medicine. So I think this is just the fake news media getting it wrong once again. This was a doctor meme, and I
Yeah,
think we should just move on.
let's move on. That's what we're seeing here.
Well, I'm very happy that Jon Stewart is healed. I saw him this week on the Daily Show. So whatever Trump did got him out of that bed. Either it was the Trump hands or the hands that were randomly uh, headed toward his crotch. One of them made him feel well enough to go into work the next day. Yeah. So and from what I understood, this was actually the the depiction was actually, I guess, a redo of an actual painting
Yeah,
also.
yeah, right.
So it's, yeah, definitely odd. I saw a few posts from people who that was the straw
Yep,
that's turning them against Trump.
yep.
Like, wait a
Me too.
minute. Like, wait a minute. It took him depicting himself as Jesus to be the part that's made you think, maybe this isn't what's supposed to be happening.
Well,
Like,
hey, yeah. I mean, look,
okay,
I'm all
guys.
for it. I'm all for it. I realize it took you a long time to fucking get here, but welcome. I
Yeah,
embrace you. I do think that it was a little odd that it did. He did so much terrible shit that you just fucking glossed over, and this is the
yeah,
straw that breaks the camel's
yeah,
back. But hey,
yeah,
whatever it takes to make it happen, I'm okay with. But yes, I mean, we already knew that Trump thought it was a god. Why not think he was Jesus? And obviously, that's what it was. And again, the whole backlash of it's a doctor, the gaslighting bullshit that people will actually believe. And I've seen plenty of that too. People defending it, saying, oh, he
yeah.
just meant a doctor. No, you are in a cult. Um, just wild. And look, and I'm not religious, so it didn't break my heart about it. I didn't care one way or another. But still, uh, it's disrespectful to people that believe, and and obviously those were his people that he wanted to. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
So after this, he deletes it, right? He deletes it, and then he shares a meme of what uh, Jesus with Trump, kind of a deal, looking kind of weird. It's kind of weird when, like trying to smooth it over with him, like, oh, see, it's cool, it's cool. Yeah, I mean, this is what he does. This is what he does. Like, he will push everything to the limits until he realizes, oh shit, I have lost the people that I can't lose, or I don't need to be losing. And then he pulls back. But that's the only
Yep.
time he'll rein shit in when he knows that, oh, I went too far. But there's not a thought in his head about, am I going too far? Because he doesn't care. He's not Christ-like. He's not even religious. He doesn't. You know what I mean? He doesn't care. So for him, I mean, it made perfect sense, and he probably didn't think anybody would care, because he has no understanding of false idolism or anything like that. So it's just like, yeah, this will be cool. People will love this. Um,
Obviously,
it,
if you're having to put golden Trump on everything,
yeah,
is that not kind of like the golden calf?
the golden calf, exactly, exactly. He makes himself more. Look, again, I'm not religious. He makes himself more the Antichrist every single day, doesn't he?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And maybe that
All
is
right.
actually what they're trying to do too. We've
Yeah.
talked about that also about stating that this will be the war to bring in the apocalypse and things of that nature. So
Yeah. Yeah. If anybody could do it, I think it's Trump. All right, let's go to Tennessee. Tennessee. All right. Now we talked about this last time, Matt. The Charlie Kirk Act, and I was like, okay, so it seems a little fishy. Charlie Kirk Act about free speech, blah blah blah. Well, now we kind of learn what the whole thing is, and I don't like it. I don't like it. So the free speech only means that conservative acts can go to colleges and everything like that. But the kicker is, if you walk out, you can face consequences. And I'm like, what?
yeah, that
Um, like, how is that free anything if you have to be forced to listen to somebody say something?
yeah.
Like, that is so bizarre to me. And this thing passed, by the way. This thing
Yeah.
passed.
Wow.
Yeah.
So they'll have to listen to whatever rhetoric is.
Either don't show up, I guess, or you have to. I don't even know how it's going to work. But yeah, like, to me, and now supposedly will that work both ways? I guess maybe, but yeah. So somebody's sitting there. I mean, go to sleep, I guess. But you're either that or you're forced to listen to like something that you're totally, absolutely, 100% against. Seems a little contradictory when it comes to free speech. Again, I have no problem letting these people come if the universities want them there. But let's say they're just like, well, we're going to be there and they're going to have to listen to us. That is
Yeah.
fucking wild.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we talked about this a little bit earlier, or we talked about nuclear family. Tennessee drops Pride from June, the month of June, and renames it Nuclear Family Month
Yep.
because
Yep.
nuclear families weren't being represented. And
Not, not like they had 11 other months in the fucking year. That
we, we, we were being left out here. Again, it's this whole thing of like nobody can have anything. We have to like if you have it, we have to have it, and or we're gonna take it from you, kind of a deal. Um, yeah, and this is just again, we had a few years there where things were a little bit accepted, or at least at least like from a law perspective, or like from states perspective, like it wasn't just being hammered where people were kind of being left alone for a little while. I feel like that's not the case anymore. We're we're regressing back to the old days, and again, it's just more of everyday legislation or some sort of law, some sort of bill, some sort of declaration that says you are an abomination and we don't want anything to do with you.
yeah. Yeah. Apparently, in this amendment, there's verbiage that says, and I quote, "The nuclear family is God's perfect design for humanity and is aligned with the long held traditional values of Tennessee. The nuclear family is under attack in our beloved state and nation."
Absolutely.
Fucking how?
Well, I'll tell you how.
I mean, fuck.
These gays
What?
break into our houses and beat us up when we're sleeping but we don't know it. And then we wake up with a headache. I don't know. I don't know.
I've always hated the term nuclear family.
Yeah, yeah.
Nuclear's toxic, right?
Exactly. It's like this book is just gonna blow up. It is an odd term. It is.
Maybe it's all the meltdowns that heterosexual people have that make it the nuclear.
Well, this is again Tennessee saying we are tunnel vision here, and like there's no gay people in Tennessee, but they don't exist. They don't exist. I'm pretty sure they do, but who's to say that they don't, right? I mean, what does that do to those kind of people that feel marginalized already? You know, again, I mean, months celebrating things, this or that, or that. They are what they are. They are cavalier at best, but I mean, to have to go against it because you don't like them and don't like what they stand for is really the point of this. And so, as on a state level, you are saying we're prejudiced.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. All right. Documentary. Did you watch this one, Matt? I told you to watch Louis Theroux Inside the Manosphere. You get to watch that?
I have not got to watch either of the shows that I planned on watching.
Okay. It's a pretty good little documentary on Netflix. Did you watch it, Braden?
I did. No.
Yeah. It basically was just like there's all these male influencers out there that I mean, look again, influencers not my thing. I don't really sit around and listen to these people, but young people do, and they're very influenced by these. So we got these people like Andrew Tate, and he interviewed all these different ones I never heard of before, but and like, they're out there like every day doing content. I mean, really some toxic shit, uh,
Oh yeah.
which you know I can understand young men coming up and having certain aggressions and stuff like that, but like these guys are just so it's just so beyond me. And their rhetoric just doesn't add up. Like there was at least a couple of them on there who had girlfriends or wives, and they themselves were allowed to have extra partners, but their wives or girlfriends weren't. Like they couldn't. But they themselves could. That kind of deal. But yeah, I mean, they're just basically spewing a lot of stuff and making money from it. So it's a wild world. It's a weird world that we live in now, where honestly, the more sort of instrumental that you make yourself out to be, the probably more influence you can kind of get out there, and because people, again, alone at home or just, kind of distraught or in a bad place, they're seeking these people out. So it's kind of wild. Again, it's a different world than what I know, and so I'm not a part of it, but I do sort of fear for these younger generations that kind of get caught up in all this stuff because it's easy to go down rabbit holes and yes and into stuff that you just go, oh shit, this makes sense. It's making sense to me, and you sort of just follow along with it. So it's kind of scary. All right. Jury finds Ticketmaster and Live Nation had a anti-competitive monopoly over big concerts, which Braden said, duh. Uh, let's go back to the 90s, Matt. I mean, we're talking Pearl Jam. This is like mid 90s. Pearl Jam says, Ticketmaster, what the fuck are you doing? Now, this was over 30 years ago and nothing's changed, right? Like, nothing's changed. It's only gotten worse.
Yeah, because now they've got to a point to where they got a website where you can buy your tickets and then resell them on Ticketmaster for scalping prices. It's like, what the fuck?
How does this make any sense?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and it's been this way for a long while now.
Yeah. I'm a tightwad as it is, but I've not been to a concert in some time for the sheer fact that if it is a known artist, like My Chemical Romance is touring the 20th anniversary of the Black Parade. I'd love to go see that show. tickets to Nissan Stadium in Nashville were anywhere from $400 to $600 for per
Crazy.
ticket for a decent seat.
That's
And I'm
crazy.
just like,
Crazy.
fuck.
Look, man, I'm old school punk rock, man. If it's over $35, I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you know? I mean, it's just wild how these have spiked in the last 10, 15 years, for sure. You know, ever since the fall of CDs, I feel like once the lucrativeness came out of that and it all went to streaming, that's when and again, I'm not even. I mean, I think from some end it is some of the record companies and the artists up in the prices as well, but also like you said, that this is the big part of it with the Ticketmaster doing this nefarious shit, where you have no choice but to pay out the ass if you want to go see this concert. And to me,
Yeah.
I'm like, I can just sit at home and watch it on YouTube. I'm not going to do that. You know, it's just insane.
Yeah.
Matt, anything else on that?
No, no.
All right. Let's go to the arch, the old arch. What happened to the ballroom? Did it get blockade? Ballroom blockade? Anyway,
No, I think they're still clear to be working on that one too. There's
okay.
controversy around it, but it's still getting
There,
built.
there is some controversy. I did hear about that, but now our big talk is the arch. Arch de Trump, Braden. Is this going to be St.
I,
Louis Part Two?
yeah. Gate instead of the gateway to the west, gateway to hell. Fuck. I mean, I don't understand. He's going to get a fucking library probably. Like every president gets something.
I mean,
I don't.
hasn't been gotten enough.
Well, that too, but I'm just like, and many would argue, well, what's the harm in it? And I don't disagree to a point, but it's just like, why should we build monuments for someone who has accomplished nothing?
You think
Like,
they met those 10 wars?
I mean, I don't get it. Like, and that's not to say I believe Obama or Biden or any of those should have monuments. Like, at least let some fucking time pass, is
Yeah.
my point.
Oh, yeah. That will absolutely. I mean, hindsight to look back and say, well, that actually worked pretty well, you know. And if
Yeah.
some of this crazy shit that he's doing actually does turn out to be good, okay, maybe. But if not, which might be the case, maybe we shouldn't be putting everything Trump, stamping everything
Yeah.
with his fucking name on it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's just my thought. All right, Pete Hegseth quotes the Bible, aka Pulp Fiction, during a Pentagon worship service.
I've never seen someone so desperate to be a fucking badass in all my life. Like, fuck. Yeah. I don't know. It's ridiculous.
So, so Samuel Jackson in Pulp Fiction, he's quoting a Bible verse in the movie, right? But it's not a real Bible verse. It's something that Quentin Tarantino just made up, right?
Mm.
Hexeth watches this movie and goes, "Oh shit, yeah, yeah, absolutely." Writes that down.
It's fucking
Again,
badass.
the word poser keeps coming up to me when I'm thinking about these people that are pretending to be these knowledgeable Christians, you know, or
Yeah.
whatever. You know, it's like, come on,
Yeah.
really? It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Um, Google gives ICE your data without letting you know.
Yeah, this one's The article that I sent you guys was from. See if I can get the. Doesn't list a name, but it's from a gentleman that who left the country, crossing into Canada, and essentially got an email and informed him that the company had already handed over account data to the Department of Homeland Security. But someone he knew had also received a similar notice from Google and Facebook. And law enforcement eventually withdrew them before the companies turned over the data, but this guy didn't. And Google promises that it will notify users before their data is handed over in response to legal processes. So obviously this didn't happen in this particular case. And it does give you pause that, like, I work with a gentleman who one of his pet peeves is he reads terms and conditions. All that shit that we just swipe, click, he reads them.
That's all he does. That's like forever. That takes forever.
And I thought, okay, ha ha ha, that's funny. But I mean, he legit does it. And it's things like this that, oh, fuck, maybe we should. And because we have a lot of data out there in these companies, our addresses, our fucking banking information, numerous photos and locations, like our lives. And the fact that it could so easily be turned over to the Department of Homeland Security for them to investigate us is wild.
Yeah.
And
I mean, we're not talking about warrants. We're talking about they just go, can I have this? Yeah.
And at the end of the day, this isn't because, Trump is in office and all Trump. No, it would not matter if Kamala had won or whoever and this was occurring. This isn't a red-blue issue. This is fucked up, like point blank, period. So, yeah, very, very concerning.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you were talking about reading the conditions, but the conditions say that they won't do it, but they did it anyway. So
exactly.
Really,
yeah.
It's just like, I don't know. Careful what you do, I guess.
Yeah.
Careful what you do. All right. Last thing I got for you is the tariff refund coming, Matt. Get ready. April 20th. Sorry, Matt. It's only going to the businesses.
Yeah, well, it's a good thing that I'm a full-on business entity then, because I'll just take all that money for myself.
Take it all.
Yeah. No, I think it's funny that we talked about this, also, that we were supposed to, be getting dividends back from all these amazing tariffs.
Don't worry. They're coming.
Right along with that Doge check.
Yeah. But no, for the small businesses, if the small businesses actually even get any money back, it's great for them.
No, fuck those businesses, dude. Because most of those businesses charged you for it. They charged the customer. I mean, now maybe some of them did. Maybe some of them ate the cost. I don't know. But I like everything I had to order from overseas, I had to pay a damn tariff. So I paid for it. Now I wasn't doing it every day, but I'm saying I had to pay for it. All those companies did was just charge it to us.
Oh yeah.
So we paid, and now they got that. Obviously it just paid for it themselves. It paid for the tariff at the time. So now they're just getting free money.
Yeah, and for the large companies, for the large companies who are going to get back millions upon millions of dollars, it's ridiculous. It's because, like you said, they've already gotten the money from someone else, the customer, So the fact that they're getting the tariffs back is going to be a slap in the face, but
Well,
damn
this
near
is another
everything that we got
example.
going on. Yeah.
Yeah, this is just another example why we need that another arch for him, because this is some dumb shit scheme he did that backfired, and now as having to pay back. But the only people that get screwed is the American people.
Uh,
Hey,
Capitalism, baby.
oh, I love it. I love it. Anyway, that's all I got. You got anything else, Matt?
Oh no, nothing here.
All right, Braden.
Nothing on my end, man.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess we'll let it ride for another 2 weeks and see what happens then. See what kind of
Sounds good.
chaos is coming our way. All right. Peace.
Later, guys.
I've been doing cocaine in the bathroom on the window pane, and I'm high now, have been for 3 days, and I can't seem to come down from this misty morning haze. Well, I hear the phone ringing, but I didn't answer in time, and the choir starts singing. I'm a flaky kind of guy, but you wouldn't want to come down.